Ron. Well, good morning. It's great to see so many smiling faces. We're here for our weekly Board of Commissioners meeting. It is Wednesday, July 21st, 2021. How fast the month has gone. Wow, quick. We're here in the Senator Hearing Room at 555 Port Street Northeast. We always start our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you will join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So great to see so many people here and hear the Pledge of Allegiance out loud like that. Thank you so much for joining us.
I like the fist pump at times.
It's great, fist pumps, yeah. So we always start our meetings, well, most of the time we start our meetings with public comment. So today we will do that. We have, it looks like about 13, 14 people here to make public comment. I will ask, since we have so many people, we'll try to limit our comments to 2 minutes. And we will come over here to this side where we can pick you up on camera. And when you're speaking, make sure you get really close to the microphone. And the first person, David, good to see you. David Bean, thank you for your help at the fair, David, and welcome.
Thank you.
Sorry I called you out on the stage at the fair.
That's fine. I'm asking for the county sheriff get for $5,000 for get the homeless shelters done, because a lot of homeless kids got no services after 5 o'clock. So I was thinking if we can set up a system after 5 o'clock and get services done for them after 5 o'clock. I talked to the mayor, and he likes the idea of opening his services after 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock, get services for mental health services for the ones that got abused, or get homeless people take advantage of them, or the mentally ill out there don't have nothing. So I was wondering if we can put funding for mental health, give them $5,000 to get services after 5 o'clock for after hours. Because mental health shut down after 4 o'clock. Nobody's known no services there for them after 5. So I'd like to see that done. So are you in talks to the mayor or in talks to the governor? Get more funding for it, for the county, for all the services, special needs population. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
Any questions?
Will?
I don't have any questions. It's public comment. It's just for you to share with us.
Yeah.
And I like to do is do stuff for the county on the mental health issues for the mental health. So I would like to be appointed on this for the county for special needs population. To be the first one, disability person on that 4-year term.
Great. Thanks, David. Good to see you. Thanks for your help at the fair. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, our next person that is signed up, Dwayne Marks.
I'm here with the conversion rep. Could we have Tina come to us, speak first and give us a synopsis of what we're here about? Tina, if you...
So you're going to yield your time to Tina? Tina Herman? Tina? Sure. Trade, got it.
I have copies for each of you. There's actually 4, but I see that Commissioner Willis isn't here today.
He's on vacation.
Kind of abbreviated this really fast when you said how much time we had. So good morning, Commissioner Bethel and Commissioner Cameron, and I didn't realize everybody else was going to be here too, so good morning. My name is Tina Herman, and I live in the Maclay area. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you today. I'm here in opposition to the Auburn Conversion Project, aka putting a public park on the Maclay landfill. A few things I would like to focus on in speaking with the Oregon Land and Water Conservation Fund office last week. Once it hits their desk, it is an 18 to 24 month process for a conversion project to get approval, and that is if the conversion doesn't run into any hiccups. The very nature of getting this land approved by the National Forest Service, Land and Water Conservation Fund, DEQ, and EPA, due to this being a closed landfill, could see this process being drawn out for years. In the July 15th Statesman Journal article, Tom Kissinger of Marion County Environmental Services quoted a DEQ report from 1997 stating this property is, and I quote, considered fully remediated at this point. I found a later DEQ file notation from 1998 on the DEQ's environmental cleanup site inspection database, which states other remedial or investigative action is recommended, primary action. From my Freedom of Information Act inquiry this past week, there have been no environmental impact surveys, well water or soil samples collected, or any other data extracted from this property since 1991. In an email to me dated June 30th, 2021 from Mr. Kissinger, he stated the county has met with the nonprofit groups Capital City Disc Golf Club and the Salem Area Trail Alliance at the old landfill site to, and I quote, assist us in determining if those types of recreational amenities would be feasible at that location, end quote. This is disappointing to learn, as the county has not sought to reschedule the town hall canceled March 2020 due to COVID, with the McClay residents, giving them an equal voice in the matter. I just have like a little...
Go ahead, keep going.
Thank you. Also note, the county surveys regarding this conversion were vague, asking only 3 simple questions which did not consider the location of the person taking the survey. Shares of the county's survey post on social media have garnered comments from people living in other states, giving the illusion that there is overwhelming support of this project. Per a conference call with Marion County Environmental Services on May 13th, it was stated that the county cannot apply for funding to restore the fire-ravaged parks up the canyon until this Auburn conversion project is satisfied. If you look for properties elsewhere without the red tape of EPA and DEQ, you could open up federal funds for the once majestic county parks up the Santiam Canyon. So commissioners, it's my understanding you will be reviewing these surveys tomorrow and deciding the project's next step during your work session. Please vote against this old landfill site as a candidate for the conversion. Save the county's resources and redirect the conversion project to another property that can be converted in a timely manner. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, appreciate it. So I'll go back to Dwayne. We'll go back to the top of the list, if that's okay. Dwayne, does that work for you? Okay, thank you. And just please introduce yourself for the record.
I'm Dwayne Marks.
Wait till you sit down, get to the microphone. In fact, I got a text message saying my microphone was muted, so he's back there listening to us, and when he can't hear us, he'll let us know.
Okay, Dwayne Marks.
Welcome.
I'm here also for the Auburn conversion, in opposition to the Auburn conversion program. We really don't see why we should have a park up there being, Marion County has a lot of parks out there, and they probably aren't maintained that well, and a lot of this money, should be directed toward the parks that they have now. And not only that, is this landfill, of course, is going to cause a lot of problems with, if you want to make this a public facility, the EPA and the DEQ they have such strict regulations on the soils and the leaching of groundwater into the streams that are close there, and which is the Pudding Creek. And we just don't, that will run into a lot of money. And the people of Marion County do not want to have, the taxpayers, I should say, do not want to have to fund a lot of this that is going to happen if you try to make this into a park. It just is, there's just too much out there that money can be spent for. That 306, now they do have a cover that they could put over this landfill that would take care of the leaching up from, the contamination of the heavy metals, which is that, lead, everything, But that too, now that would take care of that $360,000 that we have, and then the rest of the burden would be on the Marion County taxpayers again. So we just don't think that this is a good place for it, and I think it's going to be much
too expensive. I did send a letter to you commissioners about the Everett, up in Everett, Washington, the Tulalip Indian Reservation. They thought they could, they started a landfill back in '64, they closed it in '79, and they thought they could just cover that up and make it a recreational facility for baseball, soccer, everything else. They did all the groundwork and everything. EPA stepped in and said, just a minute, we have to run some tests here. They kind of thought they could push it through because of whatever, but anyway, that didn't work. EPA said, wait a minute, we have to have a lot of tests run here. And that was back in 1998. And to this date, they do not have that park yet. They have it kind of built, but they can't use it because of the regulations of the EPA and DEQ.
Okay.
So this is something that definitely has to be looked into before you even start this, because it's going to be spendy. And
Thank you.
I guess that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you, Mr. Marks. Appreciate you coming in today. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Heather Crosser? Did I say that right, Heather? Crozier.
Close.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here today. My name's Heather Crozier, and I'm here to talk also about the Auburn conversion project. One of my big concerns with this project is that there's the big natural interstate natural gas pipeline runs under the 44-acre center of this landfill. And landfills emit methane gas, which is odorless, colorless, and very flammable. That is still coming out of the ground, the methane gas, and we have this big pipeline that is also in the same area. If this turns into a park, somebody flicks a cigarette or has a little hibachi out there or something like that that could spark any type of a flame, we could have our neighborhood blown up. And that's really scary to us. I live half a mile, but that only means there's 5 houses between myself and this landfill. I've got young children who know a little bit about this, but they're telling me they want the gate closed. They don't want people, coming in the neighborhood that might be less savory folk that kind of, scare my kids, like what we see downtown in parks and whatnot that we used to go to. So my kids are affected by this, and the thought of the potential of all the flammable hazards. There's record of when it was a landfill it was a transfer station until 1986 after the landfill was closed. And supposedly, according to the documents, when that was closed, there was a whole bunch of drums of herbicides, waste oils, and everything that were dumped onto the site. And this remediation that supposedly happened in 1990 was to pick up this 6-inch thick sludge that covered the top of the soil there. And the 1991 report the DEQ did after showed they got a good portion of it, but there's still a good portion of it left. That's flammable. It's hazardous. There's just so many bad things there that we're not properly taken care of that are still present that are scary to us being neighbors. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Right.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much. Cheryl, is it Durkin? Cheryl, welcome. It's great to see everybody without masks on too, I don't recognize people without their mask anymore.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Cheryl Dirting. I live at 7457 Acorn Hill Court Southeast, which is adjacent to the old McClay landfill. Regarding the proposal of turning this landfill into a park, I have some serious concerns about that particular land being used for a park where people, especially children, would play. This is due to what I believe are hazardous conditions, but I'll let the others speak to that. A number of years ago, I was in a meeting with multiple county agencies to discuss potential hazards and mitigation options in our county. The fire chief at that time noted that there were 2 homes in the county that could not be reached due to difficult driveways, both in the Maclay area. As it turned out, mine was one of them, my neighbor was the other. He had just purchased a fire truck that was able to reach them, and it was parked at the Maclay station. That station that is now closed has no trucks and no personnel. I have a great concern that with the heat, droughts, and fire dangers we're facing more and more often, that having the land used as a park could put my home, pets, livestock, family, and my neighbors in jeopardy if a fire was started by park users in an area that's hard to access, would be quick to burn, and is without a close, staffed fire department to respond. If you move forward with the park at this location, please consider making it a wildlife refuge instead. They truly need the community's help to continue to exist, and the land in question is home to some amazing wildlife. The deer use that area to raise their fawns. There are red foxes, and we even have a silver-colored fox with a bright red face that for the five last years has used the area of my land that intersects with the dump to have offspring and let them grow up there, and then they move on. She comes back every year. An abundance of native and migratory birds, hawks, herons, and the occasional bald eagle are seen there. There are coyote dens where I listen to the pups yipping at night certain times of the year, and a resident cougar that shows up on cameras every so often. These amazing animals are fast losing land to call home. Set aside this land as a wildlife area, reserve it for them for years to come. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Cheryl.
I just want to say really quick, Cheryl, that Marion County Fire District Number 1 is an independent district? Okay,
I do know that.
okay.
You used to work there.
I did.
Yeah.
I used to run the Maclay station when it was open.
All right. You had some extra time. We gave it to somebody in front of you, right? Okay. John, is it Drawls? Drizel, D-R, was it D-R?
Maybe it's
You should have been a doctor like me.
pharmacist
D-R what?
handwriting.
That was not a good attempt.
Can you spell your last name when you announce
Yep.
yourself?
My name is John Drizel, D-R-Z-A-L. I'm at 7845 Burton Place.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. I wish to add my voice to the many here and the many in my neighborhood who can't make it today, who oppose a public park at Maclay landfill. Community park is inappropriate use of this site. The community park would be a host to large numbers of people who would come into the neighborhood. Instead, I believe you should be pursuing a designation of a natural area, open space for this site. This is described in your own county parks master plan. The landfill property, I think, should be managed as a permanent, undeveloped green space with low level of activity. And this, again, is described in your county master parks plan. These natural areas, and I quote the plan, may preserve or protect environmentally sensitive areas such as riparian areas, ecologically important landscapes, or endangered plant species, unquote. In fact, public surveys and questionnaires conducted for the master plan show that 95% of respondents thought protecting natural areas was a medium to high priority. You should follow that. Marion currently has 174 acres of natural areas. Maclay landfill is an excellent opportunity to grow that inventory. Maclay landfill should not become a neighborhood park or a community park. The master plan states the county should not acquire more neighborhood parks or community parks. Instead, the county should focus on highly developed regional parks to serve all residents of Marion County and not one or two groups sought out by staff. There is substantial risk in undeveloped public space such as proposed here, I firmly believe, is going to shatter the peace and quiet of our neighborhood and undermine our property values. You should table this proposal as soon as you can, direct staff to come back with viable alternatives. That's what you should do. You should not force a park on a neighborhood that does not want it. Thank you.
Thank you. Right there. You must have practiced that to get it to 2 minutes before you came in. Really good job, thank you. Okay, Phyllis Bond. Good morning, Phyllis.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day.
It is, especially to drive in from Maclay.
Yes, it is. It's a beautiful area up there. I am also concerned about the Auburn conversation.
Just for the record, just introduce yourself,
Oh, I'm
please.
sorry. My name is Phyllis Bond, and I live at 7845 Burton Place, which is about a half a mile from the park site. And I was recently made aware of this proposal from a concerned neighbor who invited me to attend the Public Works meeting that was held on July 15th. During this meeting, which was attended by many of the neighborhood members, actually who we have here today as well, we were informed at that meeting that a survey was sent out to our neighborhood asking input on this project. Most of us who live within 1 mile of the project did not receive the survey. And if we did, we didn't realize it was a survey. Okay? We requested to see the survey results, and also if we could include our comments and add those to the survey. We were told that the survey was finished and we could not add our input to that document, which you're going to be hearing probably pretty soon. You noticed in the newspaper article that the survey said it was overwhelmingly supported by the community. We're the community. We don't support this. And so we're here today to give you our input, our survey, that says that we do not support this project for many, many reasons, as you hear from my fellow neighborhood leaders. During this meeting, we were also informed that this site is the only one that will be recommended to the Parks Commission. They discussed very vaguely that they were looking into other alternatives, and then when they were forced to answer a direct question, how many recommendation sites are you going to give to the Park Commission? 1. This is the only recommendation they're going to be making to the Park Commission. That's unacceptable. There's got to be other areas in Marion County, our large county, that could serve as a park to utilize these unspent funds. So as I end, they're trying to make this easy on everybody. The easy thing to do is not always the best thing to do. Please stop this process now. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. And I know there's been a reference to that meeting. I listened to the whole meeting, as well as I think, Commissioner, you went and watched the tape, played it back.
It's very lively.
So we are paying attention, so that's how you get input, all those meetings, just like you're doing today. It's a great way to go. Okay, next on the list, Lars Schroeder. Lars, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having us, and great to
No,
live in-
thank you for coming in. We sit here all the time and talk to ourselves, and it's great to have people talk to us.
You know, it's great to
You
live in
can
a,
just come to sit in the audience. if you
Yeah,
want to.
come in every week, please.
it's great to live in a country where we have representative government and our representatives listen to us. So, just for the record,
It's an honor to serve you, too.
I voted for all 3 of the commissioners, and I hope I can continue that. I
Be
like
sure to
keep-
introduce yourself.
Lars Schroeder. I live about a quarter of a mile from where the park would be. I like to consider myself an open-minded person. I think everybody would. I try to be. I listened to one of the Parks Commissioners last week at the meeting who said, come to the parks, look at what we have. Go to Bonesteel Park. Go to Almsville Ponds. See what parks have to offer. And honestly, I thought, maybe a park would be a great thing to have in my backyard. I could go there with my dogs, play Frisbee golf, and et cetera. So went with an open mind. She said, go to Bonesteel Park. I went over there, and I know where it is. I drive by there often. Here's what I found. First thing when I drove up, and bear in mind that the park, if you're familiar with Bonesteel Park, it's right on the highway, okay? Right on Almsville Highway. Parking lot is right there. I drive up, really nice van there, or a nice truck. SUV parked next to it, looked like they're empty. I kind of walked towards it, peeked in. As soon as I did, guy pops out of the car from the driver's seat, gets into his truck, and both cars speed away. I'm not a detective, but I know that was not a real estate transaction that was going on there.
Where is he? He was here earlier.
He's watching.
There's illicit activity that goes there. Contrast that to the proposed park at Maclay. That park is down on the north side of that hill, away from a road where nobody can see. I mean, it's practically landlocked when you compare it to the other parks. It's just going to be a magnet for all kinds of illicit activity. It's drugs, prostitution. I don't know what was going on there, but it happens all the time. And I live a quarter of a mile. I've got 5 grandkids that are at the house all the time. We don't want. I'm really concerned about what my neighborhood's going to turn into when you have that kind of a setting where it's just an invitation for riffraff and bad kind of stuff going on. The parks are also not maintained the way they are. I mean, as is Bonesteel, grass is up to my shoulders. I walked around the park. Grass is up. It doesn't take very much, and if we can't maintain what we have at Bonesteel, that's a lot bigger area we're talking about at Maclay. It's not maintained, and that's also a danger. The riffraff, and we got to maintain what we have before we invest in something else. Thanks again for your time.
Well, thank you. And I forgot to start your timer, so I think you got.
Can I go again?
Yeah, exactly. You can go again. Thanks, Lars. Appreciate it.
I'd like to point out that our traffic commander's in the back of the room, so I imagine you'll see some sheriffs out at Bonesteel soon.
I couldn't get into Bonesteel last night. Actually, I went there because the Almsville police had it cordoned off because there was so much activity going on there. They're chasing somebody now. So
Perfect. You're
we don't.
Great advertisement for Bonesteel Park.
Well, I was listening to that when they said go to Almsville or go to Bonesteel, and I'm thinking Bonesteel's probably not one of the parks I would go to.
Not where I would have went.
Yeah, it's one of those natural areas that.
Yeah.
Okay, Stacy Kroll. Welcome. I got the timer up, so I'll try to remember to push it. Commissioner Bethel will remind me.
Hello, my name is Stacy Kroll, close, and I'm here about the Auburn conversion project also. So just wanted to say my gravest concern is the safety, and we moved out there to give our kids a place to play. God has blessed us with 13 kids, 4 grandkids, and we finally thought that we found our dream. They can go out, they can build forts, they can ride up and down the driveway on the 4-wheelers. Well, our driveway is literally parallel to the driveway that goes into the dump, well, the old dump. And our property, we rent or we lease 3 of the fields from the county, and our cattle graze on those fields. So literally you walk out our door and it's right there, the county property. And my gravest fear is you look at all the parks and I just think, am I going to have to scour for needles before my kids go out? Our forest borders right along the forest for the county property. Are my kids going to be able to ride their 4-wheelers on the driveway? Is there going to be somebody there that is going to do harm to them? Because surely people, I mean, it's going to be hard to tell, they're going to wander onto our land. We've already twice now stopped people because it is so far out, dumping garbage on our driveway, and sketchy people. My husband was actually able to catch one of them and called the cops in, and the cops said this was a great stop because there were 9 warrants out for this guy, and they had 7 people on the ground that lived in this duplex together. And I feel like they go out to the country looking for places, and like has already been said, this is going to be tucked far away. How is the safety going to be protected for my children when we're already being told that there aren't the resources to patrol the park? They said that they're going to come and shut the gate at night. What happens if the homeless are there and we're being told that pretty soon we're not going to be able to say that they can camp on that property? What about the safety of my kids? What if somebody wanders onto our property and hurts them? And my fear is we've already had to bury 2 children. I fear greatly that it's going to be a 3rd.
Sorry for your loss. Pat and Tom Parks. Now, do you want to come up separately or together? Just one? Just one. We can take you both. No, the boss. You let the boss? All right.
Must be married a long time.
It only says chair. I only think I'm the chair. Really, I know who runs the show. All right.
Thank you very much. My name's Patricia Parks, and I live at 7871 Darling Street, which faces the property in question, well, directly across the street. Number one, when we bought out there, it was our intent to enjoy the area like our neighbors. And the thought of looking out every day across and seeing, I'm not sure what, does not appeal to us. And it's disheartening because, quite frankly, if in the event that this does go through, God willing it won't, but it's going to force people to make other changes in their life that they didn't want to do. We're there, we thought, forever, and we don't want to change our lifestyle. And I think it's just totally unfair not to consider what people that have lived out there for over 40 years, some of my neighbors, will have to endure if this project goes ahead. And like Stacy's children, we just love them to death. They're able to just, like she said, drive down and go down the street. We know everybody that walks on the street. Nobody comes on 78th and Darling that the neighbors don't know. This would all change, and we have no control over it. That's my initial comment. But I have, if you'll give me a moment, one of the neighbors could not come. His wife
Yeah, and I forgot. I just started the timer, so
Okay.
we're good.
His wife had a medical emergency last night, so he asked me to mention his comments, his concerns.
Can you say who he is for us?
Yes, I
his name.
can. Gene.
I'm sorry?
Gene Johnson, and their family has been out there forever. It's my understanding that they owned from 78/Darling all the way to State Street, which is quite a considerable amount of property over the years. And they still have a considerable amount there. His concerns are maintaining the property, the proposed property, mowing weeds and grass. He mentions Almsville Ponds Park is full of trees and tall, dry grass. If it catches fire, it will burn fast and spread quite a ways. Very little obvious maintenance, and he's referring to the Almsville Pond Park. His concerns about methane pockets and gas pipeline. He references the 2010 San Bruno, California fire that had a gas pipeline ignite, and 50 homes were leveled and over 100 were damaged. And he references this on YouTube as well, but I think we all saw it on the news. We just there's an abundance of concerns over this property, trying to make it, the phrase, a silk purse out of a cow's ear, or a pig's ear, or whatever, this property is just not set up to transform in the design that the county is considering. And right now they use it to for their equipment and to, like from the from the frost, they've been hauling wood back there, debris and stuff, and we don't mind that because they're taking it way back on the back side and they're chopping it up and they'll use it for a good project. But I think to try and turn it into something that, you know, just conceivably irresponsible is not a good idea. So, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Patricia. And Tom, you sure she covered it all? See? All right.
My grandma
good.
used to say putting lipstick on a pig. That's what she was looking for.
Yeah.
Good morning, Tom Parks, 7871 Darling Street. I just want to make one comment. I don't know how these two projects were come about that I've heard about, the Frisbee Golf and the other one was the bike park. And I just want to state about the bike park. That scares me. I can't imagine kids from a mile around not bicycling to get to a park like that. They're not going to put their bikes in cars and drive there. They're going to bicycle. If you've seen McClay Road, it's 55 miles an hour. There is no bike lane on the side. It's dangerous to ride a bike down that street, and that's the only street to get to this park. The only street. Every once in a while we have bicycle clubs that go up and down the streets, and it's scary trying to go around them. Sooner or later, I can picture somebody being seriously hurt, and it would be a child more than likely. So I just want to say that, at least for the bike park, that just scares me, and I really hope you would think second thoughts on such a project as that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Okay. Now I've got another couple. I don't see how this is going to go. Paul and Sharon Schalberg.
Looks like it's Sharon.
Sharon, okay. And Paul, you're going to come up after Sharon?
No, I drew the shorts for all.
Oh, well, we like you. He can
that's
come up too.
Also both.
Thank you.
Okay, my
Welcome,
name is Sharon Schaberg, and I'm here about the park that is proposed at McClay. Just want you to know my family have lived on Darling Street. I'm just the second house from the corner, and we've lived there nearly 40 years, raised our family. We have a great community of people in the McClay area. Our community has people who walk regularly on these streets that would be affected by a public park. Kids ride their bikes, people walk their dogs, mothers with strollers. We live out in the country to enjoy these freedoms. These streets will become so busy that it would be really a hazard to even be on them. We don't need or we don't want a park. It would not benefit this community, only take away from some of our freedoms. A suggestion is to turn it into an area for wildlife, which we have a lot of that around. So thank you for your consideration. I'm asking you, please, please, do not put a park there. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. And just so you know, I just handed our secretary the written testimony you gave us, so that'll be submitted for the record. So thank you. Okay. By the way, Brenda does a fantastic job supporting all of us. Thank you, Brenda.
You know the term, not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yeah. All right. So, Paul, you're good, right? Sharon did magnificent job? Okay. Jennifer Tenstef. Jennifer, you've been here before. No?
I haven't.
Well, I know you from somewhere. Yeah.
Good morning, Star.
Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Jennifer Tinseth, and I live at 7825 Burton Place. Good morning, commissioners and neighbors. Thank you for showing up and sharing your concerns. While there are several concerns that you're hearing today with the location of the Auburn conversion project, I would like to focus on the safety of the roads. With locating a park off McClay and 78th Avenue on Darling, it would increase the amount of traffic to the already unsafe roads. In my email that I sent to you, I explained that a local resident was told by the county that if he were to subdivide, he would have to level off a blind spot just to the east on McClay Road because of the dangers. At the Public Works meeting last week, it doesn't sound like the county would be held to the same standard. And just living so close to that area, I turn left or west on McClay Road from 78th, and it's scary every time I approach that intersection because of this blind spot. Not only that, but due to the nature of the lay of our land, we hear activity on McClay Road as if it were in our backyard. We've heard the blood-curdling screams of two little girls whose dog got hit by a car on McClay Road. We've heard cars colliding at that blind spot, as well as a car that swerved to miss a deer and hit a tree at that same blind spot. This is just one of the many blind spots along McClay Road. We've also known someone who was struck and killed by a car on a walk, and continually witnessed drivers who are unfamiliar with the roads running stop signs, especially the one at 62nd and McClay. And drivers would have to cross that area to reach that park. With more traffic, people who are unfamiliar with the area would only increase dangers to these roads. If you've ever driven McClay Road, you would notice there are several blind spots, no bike lanes, and often no shoulder on the road, which mean no forgiveness for drivers to safely move over for the protection of walkers and bikers in the area. Another point of concern is if there's to be a Frisbee golf or other tournament-style activities brought to that proposed park, it again would increase the dangers to the roads as well as issues with emergency vehicles reaching their destination quickly and safely. I've personally experienced the gridlock that happens on State Street in Cordon, where the Cascade football or soccer field is, backing up traffic for miles on State Street because someone's trying to turn into that parking lot and it's full, and they just sit and wait. Lastly, if I could just say,
You're fine.
and this is a personal statement, my dad would be proud of me to stand here today or sit here and speak on behalf of our neighbors. For years, he wrote to the county requesting a stop sign be placed at Burton Place and 78th because of the growing numbers of families in the area and because of the children that were out there playing. And children ended up being his grandchildren, which are my kids. He never got the sign, but after he died, they put a T sign up. I don't know if he'd be happy or not, but a sign was put up. If you look up his name, Colonel Marcus A. Pedersen, in the archives, you'll find a lot of letters from him. He spent hours writing to the county about the safety of that area, as well as looking out for the best interests of veterans, as he was a World War II veteran. If you must put a park at that location, please make our roads safer. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And yeah, I think he'd be proud of you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
And thank you for your father's service to our country. Okay. Tina, did you want to be a closer? Did you want to come up again? Well, let me get the last person on the list, and then I'll have you come back up. All right? I can tell you wanted to say something else.
Not that she doesn't have all of our phone numbers.
Jerry McGee. And is there anybody that did not sign up that is here that would like to still testify? We want to make sure you have a chance. Okay, Jerry?
I want to get good.
You better hit a single because the cleanup hitter's coming up, right?
I know. And I have to tell you, first thing, thank you so much for all that you do, all of you up there. But I really want to thank the neighbors, especially Tina and some others that organized a lot of this information to us neighbors. And the biggest reason I want to thank them, matter of fact, last night we had kind of a grassroots town hall. Over 75 people came, and very last minute too, I might add. So that shows a lot of. What impressed me the most about that is that I live right on the corner of 78th and Darling, right across the street from Tom and Pat, right down the hill from Stacy and her children. And so we see the traffic. We've been there since the old landfill shut down and that sort of thing. And so for my neighbors that don't even live right there, to have such concern for the rest of the neighborhood is amazing to me. So I thank all my neighbors. We all kind of wanted to hit different subjects, so I agree with everything that my neighbors have already said today. Everything that they said is 100% I agree with. I wanted to hit mostly on the homeless part of it, and I have great empathy for the homeless. I mean, we need to do something as a community for the homeless. I mean, they've been camping all over this city, as you well know, and they're being moved out of Market Street right now as we speak. Where are they going to go? And so my concern is, you know, I know that this, in the past we have opened up parks to homeless. I understand we've closed that down recently, but, you know, I don't have a lot of faith that that wouldn't be opened up again. And even if it's not opened up, who's to stop the homeless from just kind of drifting out to this area, especially if they know there's a nice park up over a hill where they can't be seen, there's going to be a bathroom there and all that sort of thing. It's going to bring the homeless, and it's also going to bring other things that unfortunately the homeless do bring, especially when you got drug use and alcohol use, let alone other things. I mean, back in the day before the landfill, when the landfill closed, we had things like needles and condoms and all sorts of things right at the bottom. I mean, that was a great place for young people to come and park. And so with that said, I mean, let alone the cigarettes and the potential fires and what the homeless and just characters that might want to come out there doing drug deals and all that side of things. So we're concerned for the community, and I agree. I would like to see it somewhere else. You know, everyone wants it somewhere else, but in this case, we do want it somewhere else because this is not a good location for our children in this community. Thank you.
Jerry, thank you. All right, and batting cleanup.
Put me in, Coach.
You got it, Tina.
All right, thank you again, Commissioners. Tina Herman, and I do live off of 74th Avenue, and my property butts up to the Gene Johnson property, which butts up to the park property. So we can see the treetops from our home. To Jerry's comment about locking up those the public parks, I have still not had a firm answer from the county how HB 3115 will affect their properties yet. So I'm sure you're aware of that being the public space where people can stay and camp, just not build fires, but how are we going to prevent that? Two things I wanted to bring up. It's nice to see that we have Marion County Sheriff here because maybe, I'm not sure if he would recall, back in the 90s, I believe, or maybe early 2000s, they had actually tried to put a gun range out there for the Marion County Sheriff Department, and the community did not want that. So now I'm looking back and I'm like, well, maybe we could trade. Like, can we put that good? They would be great neighbors, be very safe.
He's shaking his head.
Nobody's going to mess around with that. But at the bottom of the hill, coming off of State Street, there is the Four Corners Rod and Gun Club. And there is a neighbor down there who was at our community meeting last night, and she had said that there is a portion of her property that they can only hay on because the long-range rifle from the gun club is that, like, that's the backdrop to the long-range rifle, and they are directly neighboring this property. So I feel that the county is really taking quick and easy steps. But when you stop and look at all of the hoops to jump through, do they recognize that this gun club is down there and what's going to happen? Do they realize the years that could be tied up with DEQ, which would, like I said before, would prevent any funding coming from the federal government to fix the parks up the canyon, which I know we all really want. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening to all of us. We really appreciate it. And again, as you move forward to decide tomorrow, we ask that you would just look for a different property. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. We appreciate everybody coming in and giving your input. Commissioner, you want to say anything? I got a few things I just want to say in general.
Well, I mean, I echo everything that Commissioner Cameron has said, and joking aside, it is really great to see people in the audience and for you to provide us feedback. We've received many, many emails from your community. I'm sure some of them are duplicative of your presentations today. And tomorrow, is our work session down here? Yes. Great. So are we going to air it for them to watch, or are we down here because we expect them to attend?
Down here because we expect them
Yeah.
to attend.
So every time the commissioners are together in two or more audiences, it's a public option. So you can come and sit in the audience and listen to our conversations with the park department and hear the direction that we give them based on the feedback that we've heard from you and from them. Because it is an open process, and I'm so grateful that you're here. I've never seen this park, but I know what Maclay looks like, and I just want to say also to, I'm sorry, I forget your names, Jennifer. You might want to reach out to our traffic division manager and talk to her. about your safety concerns. She's an amazing new
Yeah.
leader in the county. Her name is Lani Radke, Lani, and she's done some really great things for the county since she's been here as far as safety, traffic corridors, stop signs, things of that nature, and you might be able to honor your father's
and
requests.
Jennifer, if you want to fill out your address, your email on here, we can actually put you in touch with her for that, okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
What time is the meeting tomorrow?
It's here, I'll have to look it up
We have
on my
to go
calendar.
one
Let
day
me
ahead. We try to
explain.
get through
Let me-
each day at a time.
Let me just explain the process, right? I think that's really important. I took a lot of notes, and I want to say thank you, as Commissioner did, for coming in here, because we'd love to have you come and talk to us every week. It's, like I said, we get to talk to ourselves a lot, and it's great to see the citizens who we represent here giving their voices to us, and that's how local government works. It's great to be a servant of you and do what we can. I want to make sure that the process is understood. First of all, this park, and you see the Auburn conversion, the money that is in this pot is in an escrow account. I'm going to just simple terms. It has to be spent on something, someplace, as a park. So we're not taking money. We're not taking money from our operations, or this money can't be used for anything else but a conversion to another park. It doesn't have to be Auburn. We understand that. And it is. I listened the other day to the Parks Commission meeting when there was a lot of feedback, and I'm not sure that I want to be clear that we're still in the information gathering process. This is all about gathering information. No decisions have been made. We have not taken any votes on this. And no decision will be made until we've had an opportunity to come out to the community, and it sounds like you had a community meeting last night, where our Parks Division will set up a time where we would have the community there and have input and be able to hear, again, like you've said today. So I want to really make it clear that we've made no decisions on this. Tomorrow is a work session. Did we look it up?
It's at 9 o'clock.
It's a work session. It's for staff to provide us input. It's not a time that we have for public input. This is your chance to have public input. There's other ways you can send emails. You can flood our phones and shut the phones down, whatever. I mean, we want your input, but tomorrow is a work session that we'll have a dialogue with staff about what they're trying to do and what their recommendations are. And those work sessions are public meetings. They are places where people can come and listen, but we usually do not allow for a big dialogue because we won't get the work done. But this is the place. And if we had a community meeting, that would be another place that people's concerns would come out. I want to share a couple of things that you're here, so I want to share some information. This was an old landfill. One of the great things in Marion County is our waste-to-energy facility that we do, and our recycling. We are expanding with I mean, it has nothing to do with a park, right? But we're not.
It does, because it could be a landfill in the future, so we have this now.
Right, so we are expanding with our, the haulers are expanding their MRF, what you call material recycling facility up in Brooks. It's on the opposite side, you know where the waste-to-energy facility is in Brooks. They're gonna be able to take a lot more material out of the waste stream. And so I'm really excited about that we can reduce the amount of waste that we're actually having to send to a landfill, because our waste-to-energy facility is our first priority. It generates enough electricity to power a city the size of Woodburn. Nobody else in Oregon does it that way, and it really is environmentally a great way to handle waste and reproduce. We tried to get that energy as a renewable energy, but couldn't get it through the legislature. Landfills emit much more greenhouse gas than a waste-to-energy facility. You can look at some of the surveys that have been done, flyovers in California. So I wanted to take an opportunity to just share with you how good we are in Marion County, how good our citizens are about recycling, and how we use our waste-to-energy facility. Commissioner also mentioned Marion County Fire 1. We don't operate Marion County Fire. I know they just passed a bond, which helped them add some staff. You probably know if that station's going to get open or not. That one won't get open. I loved hearing about people proposing ideas. Thank you. Not just saying no, but actually having some other ideas that you came with today. And we really, really appreciate that. So with that, I want to thank everybody for their input today. And you're welcome to stay and watch us talk to ourselves and do all this boring business. But this is a typical, we've been here for 55 minutes since we started. Our typical board session would probably be over about right now. But since you're here, we wanted to give you that time to share your thoughts. So, thank you.
Feel free to invite us to your
and we're gonna, our next up, you might want to watch this. Scott is here. He's our Wildfire Coordinator. You know, we've been dealing with COVID-19. In fact, we did these keychains for 1,700 employees in Marion County that say service, integrity, resilience, employees delivering excellence. And on the other side, it has COVID-19, wildfires, and ice storm 20 and 21. There's 3 emergencies that we declared. And we're going to have to declare another one probably here in the next month with the drought. Marion County's not quite there yet, but we think probably by the end of August it's going to be. So we know it's been hard on everybody, but we're really proud of our employees that are serving you and proud of you for being here today. So Scott, you want to come up and give us our wildfire presentation? Update, wildfire recovery.
Maybe give him a second while they
Thank you very much for your time.
exit.
Thank you. Come back and see us next week too, would you? Or space it out.
No.
All right, Mr. Fire.
Mr. Fire. Yep, so thank you. So status report number 4, Scott McClure.
Did we get her address?
Jennifer.
I think the sheriff.
Okay. Great.
Sorry,
Scott.
That's fine, that's important. Yeah, so Scott McClure, Long-Term Disaster Recovery Manager. Status report, July 21. Still 10 minutes after the fire. That was the same last time, so. Similar data we had on dwelling permits. I think the key numbers, I'll just go to the bottom, is a 27% rebuild by this time, which is a good number compared to other disasters. We're going a little bit quicker. Likewise on septic permits, up to 38%, so doing well there. Then on the property cleanups, doing well there too. I think half the sites cleaned up. Hazard tree removal, we're up to about 37% on there. Also really good numbers. One we found out in some communities that have wildfires is lack of cleanup has really hindered people trying to rebuild their homes. You have folks actually ready to rebuild and they can't because the properties aren't ready. Then next up, county-led recovery projects. We're doing really well there. Key thing as I go through is all of our contractors are actually in place now. We've actually got some people working, and then as of next week, every project will be in motion. So financial needs analysis, that's been ongoing for a couple months now. They're still making progress. Communications and outreach. We got our firm working on an overall communications outreach plan, which is really kind of where's information coming from, then how do we distribute it? That's the really distilled version. They're looking at the recovery website. There's a Sandy Am recovery website. Interesting one, a good complication that came up is our local long-term recovery group also got some funding potentially for the same website. So we're sorting through how to kind of partner on that. We don't want to duplicate efforts in any way. And then also the city of Gates does not have a website. And so the company's had initial discussion with Gates doing some scoping on the project, what it could potentially look like. And so they're working on that. On the economic impact and opportunities analysis, Eco Northwest, very respected Northwest company, will be starting work on that next week. Health impact assessment, got them finally figured out. Going through a bigger organization is challenging sometimes, and then dealing with year-end transition issues, but they're going to start in earnest next week. And then community vision and strategic plans. I'd say this is probably one of the funner ones that goes. A company called Better City got the contract, initiated work. We had a kickoff meeting. We've been working on getting a compilation of people that they want to contact directly on the front end. They've worked on an initial survey that'll be going out, and they'll actually be visiting the canyon next week. So they'll be talking to as many people as they can in person, and they'll catch a lot of folks by phone too. And that's just the first step in the process. Down the road, as they evolve, there'll be more opportunities for public input and participation. Then next up, just kind of some general things going on. Yeah, one was noted earlier, the after-action report for the fire. That'll be tomorrow, July 22nd at 6:30, Santiam High School. It's really simple, what went well, where there could be improvements, really trying to get input from folks. So folks that lived and breathed that episode, need to learn from that so we can do better on the next incidents that come up. I met with the Mill City Recorder, discuss recovery efforts, just keep them updated on what we're working on. Hazard mitigation grant applications, that's got a closing next week. We're looking at multiple projects, putting in basic processes. You get on the hopper on the first note, then you see how you evolve through the process. Housing's been doing a lot of work. We actually developed a proposed list of projects for state funding, which will be pitched today. Also looking at different models for developing overall housing plans, some checklists, some good frameworks around the country. Interesting note, as I did my research, it's really hard to find anybody who actually has a fully developed housing plan. There are some good frameworks, and I ask the question each time, well, can I see somebody's actual plan? And the answer always is no one's done it yet. So the framework's sitting there, but then cities and counties haven't implemented it. So that's been a kind of a challenging area. And then also held a discussion with World Renew. They're a group that they will do a giant data upload, if you have the data, on who is impacted, what were the losses, what recovery needs are established. And a nice thing there, if we can get there, is that really gives an overall picture of what our effort needs to be. It's better to show for granting agencies, other folks trying to get to the scale. They have a process that works really well when there's not COVID involved. They usually send folks out, so we're trying to figure out if there's a way that we can actually cobble together different pieces of information, get most of the survey done, and then get it into their system so we can manipulate the data and get some good reports. We have our new county CDBG home manager, sat down, told them what our efforts was, how those could possibly dovetail, and then working through a dust control issue in Detroit. As you guys know, living and breathing it, there's always just things that come up that you wouldn't expect. But there's always, and what happened here is you take trees out of the equation, there's more wind patterns, you take all the vegetation off the ground, and then there's dust. And so there's just more of an issue up there. That's one that I don't think anybody would have anticipated, but in this case, that's what's happening, and so trying to work through that issue. And with that, that's what I have. Any questions?
Yeah, what does that mean that you're working through the dust control issue in Detroit? And are you doing it for other areas of the wildfire impacted area?
Actually, I will defer to Jan on that. She's been working directly with Chris Epley.
As you know, we've hired experienced city managers to work with the city of Detroit as well as the city of Gates. Chris Epley is up in Detroit, and I believe Marion County has hired a contractor working with Detroit, and they will apply the dust control measures tomorrow and Friday.
Do we have anybody?
Certain streets. Did you
Yeah,
see that?
I did see Chris's update. I guess and I love that you're doing that, and I know it's very needed because I'm up there seeing it, but I have a concern that because we have these experts in both Gates and Detroit, we might be missing some things. We've heard from some feedback from folks up the North Fork area who are struggling to get support from other entities, and I just wonder how we're gonna represent them and help them. So it might be an opportunity for Scott to reach out to some of these folks and talk about the challenges that they're facing specifically in that area of the fire.
I would agree. I think it's a new concept. I'm not sure anybody had heard of it before. We have talked to state agencies as well. The whole wind pattern in Detroit has changed. So the wind, without the trees and the vegetation, the wind coming off the lake just swirls around Detroit, and people have found a tent in their front yard, and the winds are really hard for everybody to cope with, and I think it's bringing up the dust, and so people have been suffering from sinus infections and things like that. So we're managing to take care of it. I suspect it's going to be, I talked to Chris yesterday, it will be probably a 3 or 4 year process as vegetation comes back. He said he will budget for it next year and make sure it gets in the city's budget every year after this. So.
Great.
Yeah, was it dusted Thursday. Well, I
Wow.
didn't, somebody dusted Thursday. I sat down in a chair at my house on Friday and I looked over at my dresser and I went, wow. And my neighbors are, I mean, all the construction up there and all that, and the wind is amazing. Like, I uncovered some furniture up there, and an hour later, it was just all full with pine needles. So you got the wind, you got the dust, and then because of the drought, trees are losing their needles and their cones earlier than they normally would. It's just crazy up there. So, well, I saw that one of the city councilors was requesting this. Tim Luke was requesting this, and that was like
the residents requested it
2 or 3 weeks ago through him. Yeah, and I thought, well, I don't know how you can actually do it because you can't control. Like, my neighbor behind me is excavating to get ready to build or do something, and you can't control that dust. But so there's going to be dust. This will help them. I think it's up on the top on the
Right. Tumble, it's all in there.
Yeah, where they have a lot of construction. And then they had, that had already been, the roads had been kind of torn up there just before the fire because of the water system they put in and never got done. So thanks for that.
I just want to
Anything
add,
else?
just a comment to your report on housing. Of the 5 proposals that have been submitted for discussion today, only 1 is permanent housing. 4 are temporary housing for transition as people rebuild. But there's a large proposal, thanks to our partnership with the Marion County Housing Authority in Mill City, that I'm really excited about. So I'm really hopeful that the state, who received a fair amount of money from the legislature, acts on the good work that our team has done and funds this so we can hurry up and move ahead.
Yeah. Great. Is that the end of your report?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
I'll forward you one of the emails, Scott, about the North Fork.
Okay, you
I'll
bet.
have to go find it.
Okay, Commissioner, you want to move the consent calendar?
I do. Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent calendar under Justice Court. Approve an order appointing Jan Ziranoff as Justice of the Peace pro tempore for the Marion County Justice of the Peace District with a term ending December 31st, 2021. And approve an order reappointing Todd C. McCann as Justice of the Peace pro tempore for the Marion County Justice of the Peace District with a term ending July 31, 2022.
Okay, I'll second that motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, our first action item, business services. Colleen been sitting there patiently. Oh, Ryan's here. All right. Consider approval of a lease agreement with 2755 Partners LLC in the amount of $649,563.59 for leased building space for Health and Human Services through July 31st, 2023. Ryan, welcome.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ryan Matthews, Administrator with the Health and Human Services Department. And I am here seeking approval of a lease for office space located at 2755 Pence Loop here in Salem. During this past year and a half, the Health and Human Services Department has really faced unprecedented growth. Largely, this has been in our Public Health Division related to our COVID-19 emergency response and helping to support our community through the pandemic. In addition, we've seen significant growths in several other programs to make sure that we've been able to maintain access to critical services that our community has faced over these 3 emergencies that you highlighted earlier. As we, initially this was not a huge space concern because we had a lot of people working remotely and several staff also with hybrid remote telecommuting schedules. As we've increased our in-office presence and ramped up in-office services, we've identified a significant need for more leased space in order to safely accommodate our workforce as well as those we serve. We are also looking to seek a long-term solution to this in looking to build a new facility on the grounds of the Center Street campus. Current projections have that still a couple years away before that'll be ready to fully move staff into a new building. And so we're seeking this office space as sort of that temporary bridge location that we can utilize for the next 2 to 3 years while we continue to move forward on the design and construction of a long-term facility to meet our needs. We were working with business services to identify local leased opportunities, and really this one was an ideal one. It has not required any tenant improvements. It is ready for us to just move in as is, which we've leased several spaces in the Health and Human Services Department over the years. We've never had a situation like that where it didn't require some initial capital investments to make the space functional for our business needs. This really is an ideal location and an ideal setup to accommodate a portion of our public health division as well as administrative services, which has also seen growth as our department has grown. The infrastructure to help support that has also increased. In addition, one of the features that this location has is an IT training room, which we're really excited about. We're still in the middle of a EHR implementation project, and as we start to look at some of the staff training requirements, we're really excited that they have kind of an IT lab that we can use to train staff as we start to roll out the new electronic health records. And like I said, we see this as really sort of a bridge location to get us to hopefully a new building within a couple of years at the Center Street campus, where we can have more services co-located in one space to provide better customer service and customer experience to those that we serve. Does anybody have any questions?
I do.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
So Schedule A, operating expense exclusions. So I guess it says exclusions. We're not trying to pay for the building, the current landlord's staff. Is that what this is explaining? Schedule A.
Schedule A.
It just lists off all these random exclusions. Confused as to why it's in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, so these would be items, yeah, that we would not be paying for. So we have a lease that'll have an escalation clause, which is well defined in terms of how that's defined. And I don't know, Tina, if you had more to say about Schedule A or if you wanted to add anything, but no, these would be the list of things that we would not be covering, and they would be the landlord's responsibilities, how I would interpret.
So is there, aside from your program, is there somebody else in the building?
No,
Okay.
no, there's not.
Okay, and then my second question is, I see the list of expenses for janitorial. Are you adding members to your team specific to this building? Or is this health just covering the cost of?
We had initially looked at that option, and we determined that it was best to contract the janitorial services through the landlord. So we will, Health and Human Services will be paying that cost to the landlord to provide the janitorial services, so it won't be business services staff.
So is that more cost effective on the county, on taxpayers to do that? Or is it more convenient?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. I think that we're certainly looking at options to potentially expand staffing to meet that need long term. I think especially as we get closer to a new building, which would be staffed. So I think part of it was potentially the timing. There is a cost, a significant cost, anytime you hire new positions and you have PERS benefits and kind of the long-term costs associated with that. So I believe there was a cost-benefit analysis and was determined, at least for this point in time, to go this route. It's always something we can look at later, especially depending on the quality of service, because I do know that we're blessed in county-owned buildings. Our business services department and that team does a great job. That is not always the service we get from contractors, so it's something we're kind of always evaluating and determining what's best for the needs of our department.
So as I'm looking at this, it's $99,000 for 1 year. Is that right? And is this electricity $16,800? So basically, we're paying this building owner to cover the cost of utilities?
Yeah. It's a CAM charge.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but I think the average person doesn't, and I want to be really clear that we're not just,
Sorry,
for
Colleen
our
Kuhn
convenience,
Jenkins.
spending a bunch of money.
Got a cold, so I've been trying to avoid this. Common area maintenance charges include a whole bunch of stuff. And so that's kind of just an estimate of what that charge might be. We'll get charged the actual charge. So once we know what that is, that's an estimate. So we have a base rent of $18,192, and then the common area maintenance charges get added to that. Depends on what they actually are.
Okay.
And there was a cost analysis done for janitorial in the Pence Loop. Their janitor was about $36,600 to pay for them. For us, it'd be about $57,000,
Okay.
fully loaded. So when we go to the new building, once we get the new building, then bringing on our staff to take care of that would be the way to go. We do have to have other conversations about janitorial for sure.
Okay, thank you. And I just real quick, where is this? like, what's the general vicinity of this building in comparison to where you are right now on Center?
South of Mission.
So it's quite a ways away, so you're moving your administration all the way away from your current location?
It is, yes, and I think part of the reason we were very strategic about what's gonna move into this building is we didn't want it to be things that are, services that are basically public facing. We don't wanna redirect the public, so these are people that work in areas that would basically be back office work. So it's not public facing, it wouldn't require we, inform the public on where to go to get access to services. It's administration, and it's the public health team that is, largely on the phone doing that kind of work.
Okay, thank you.
So if I could clarify, so the term operating expenses is a defined term, and as part of this contract, in addition to the rent, we are agreeing to pay certain operating expenses. So the exhibit that you referenced, Schedule A, is what we're not considering to be an operating expense.
Okay.
And there's also a cap on operating expense as well.
Oh, good, okay, thank you.
Yeah, and typically what happens, I know in triple net leases, is that you get a recap at the end of the year.
Correct.
And then you adjust the CAM charges at the next year, I know.
Is that an option in this contract?
Yes, it is. We've added an audit in there,
Yeah.
basically, that we would audit those numbers and then come back and negotiate with them.
Yeah.
Great, okay,
So
thank you.
they'll be paying an estimated amount in, and at the end, they adjust it to the actual. So.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep,
All
all right,
right.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve a lease agreement with 2755 Partners LLC in the amount of $649,563.59 for leased building space for the Health and Human Services Department through July 31st, 2023.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Thank you.
that's done.
Thank you.
Sheriff's Office. Consider approval of incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon State Marine Board in the amount of $299,528 to provide law enforcement services related to recreational boating through June 30th, 2023. We wish there was still much recreational boating.
Yes, we do. Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Stutrud, Commander with the Sheriff's Office. I am here today, as Commissioner Cameron just mentioned, to ask the board to consider approving the agreement with the Oregon State Marine Board for the term of July 1st, 21 through June 30th of 23. So typically, these are one-year contracts or agreements. The Marine Board approached and wanted to do a longer one, which we were in agreement and supportive of. Basically, what this agreement does is funds a Marine deputy, Deputy Garrett Olson, percentage of a lieutenant, and then 2 other seasonal positions as well to provide law enforcement services on the waterways of Marion County. Not only are they doing boat inspections, enforcing the boating laws and regulations, but they're also, this year, they have a goal of educating and going to schools and educating 4,000 students, school-age students. So that's a huge piece for safety long-term, educating kids on and parents on the importance of using safety devices. And not only do they do the enforcement, the education, but there's also the search and rescue and component to this. So Detroit Lake, other lakes and waterways, but also the river through Salem that we have during the winter months of the season. The program pays for 3,411 hours and pays for the costs. It also provides funding for, the Marine Board provides funding for the boats and the equipment and that stuff. So if there's any questions.
Commissioner?
Yeah, so I had the pleasure of going along and putting the buoys and signs up this year before Detroit Lake was open, well, not open, but officially kind of advertised for boating recreation. And I was less than impressed by the Marine Board's equipment as far as kind of well, it's outdated. It feels old and clunky. And so does this pay for that, or is that something that they provide directly? And how do we help them understand that it needs to be improved?
Yeah, I will say that we are getting a boat this year, replacement boat, a new boat. So the Marine Board funds all of those purchases for the boats and then provides that equipment to the Sheriff's Office for our use. And like I said, we are getting one new boat. Last year, I think it was last year, they provided funding for 2 jet skis because they didn't have the money at the time to give us a replacement boat. So they gave us the jet skis to try and save some hours and that. But you're absolutely right. Those are aged boats and equipment, so.
But what about the things that are left in the lake? So specifically the buoys and the no wakes. So there were several pieces of equipment that burned in the fire that I know that they were replacing, but the ones that didn't were, there's 2 specifically in the channel that wouldn't stand up. They're aged, and so I find that to be a significant safety issue. I mean, it is boaters' responsibility to pay attention to those channels, but if the buoy's laying over, they can't see it. And so, it appears that they're quite aged. And so I was just curious if the Marine Board funds those materials, and how do we, how do you go about helping them understand that we need safer equipment?
I believe that they do fund all of those buoys and the safety warnings and all that stuff on the lake. So obviously I'll follow up on that and have that discussion with the Marine Board, as well as get some information from Deputy Olson.
Okay, thank you.
It does say in here, waterway markers, expectation map and track, Oregon State Marine Board funded and/or approved waterway markers, maintain and confirm locations, blah, 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 blah. So there's some language in there about that and hazard mitigation. You know what? I want to do this right along with Deputy Olson when he goes to the whitewater jet class.
You're gonna have to get in line, Commissioner, sorry.
And drift boat class. I mean, those, I think he needs a commissioner to make sure he's paying, close attention when he's taking those 2 classes, so.
We should both go, make sure he's doing what he's
Yeah,
supposed to do.
I'm looking at some of the stuff in here and I'm going, okay, what a great position. Of course, we know how hard all you guys work. All right.
Yeah.
You ready for that?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon State Marine Board in the amount of $299,528 to provide law enforcement services related to recreational boating through June 30th, 2023.
All right, I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? We'll approve this for Garrett. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Commander. Did you, did you follow up with the lady, huh?
I gave her my business card so that I could help her connect with Ryan.
Perfect, great, thank you. Because we didn't get her address, I don't think, unless Brenda, oh, you did get it, Brenda? Thank you. Okay, good, we'll get it. Thanks for being here, Commander.
Yes, sir.
All right. We're gonna, recess board, and we're gonna open a contract review board under Health and Human Services. Consider approval for class special procurement to contract with mental health, alcohol, drug counselors for adults and adolescents to support court-mandated participants in the Marion County Circuit Court specialty programs.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Justin Ford. I'm from Marion County Finance.
And Ryan Matthews, Administrator with the Health and Human Services Department.
And Marion County Health and Human Services is requesting approval of a class special procurement pursuant to Section 20-0285 to provide dedicated mental health and alcohol and drug counselors for adults and adolescents to support court-mandated participants in the 5 specialty courts. And Ryan has some information on that.
Sure. So this is actually a unique role that the Health and Human Services Department has. So we serve as the third-party administrator for the grants associated with the Criminal Justice Commission for the 5 specialty courts. So our responsibility in this, we are not a provider, so this isn't necessarily to work with when you think about like our addiction treatment services and the similar services that we might have in that program. This is our role as the third-party administrator on behalf of those grants. So we do a lot of the grant management, which would result in things like contracting with the vendors and providers associated with the grant, processing payments and invoices that are approved by the courts, doing the quarterly financial reports and year-end financial reports and reconciliation. so it's the administrative support and fiscal oversight for the Criminal Justice Commission grants. Those grants, within them, identify specific vendors and providers that they want to partner with and fund. And so this is why we need to request a special procurement, because what we don't want to do is then go out and try to solicit an open solicitation when the grant has already kind of identified and directed funds, and there's long-standing partnerships with the circuit court and these specialty courts and the services provided. WorkSafe was one of those entities that were named in the CJC grant that was approved, and I believe came to board session about a month ago or so for consideration when those were submitted. So we are seeking approval to be able to contract directly with WorkSafe. There will be some other services that'll fall within the same umbrella, which we would be requesting in the future similar exceptions to. Then the way the process would work is the specialty court, the Marion County Circuit Court, would approve invoices and payments associated with whatever services were provided from WorkSafe. Those would be provided to us, and we would process the payment through the county mechanism to reimburse under the terms of the contract.
I don't have any questions.
So Ryan, just to clarify, this, remember going back here about 6 months.
Yeah.
We were doing this before, but we were also providing some of the services. We've now removed those services, but we're still administering the contracts for the courts to help them out.
We were. The courts have identified another service provider to provide the services. We really wanted to keep those separate. It became really complex to have us sort of wear the hat of managing the grant and being the fiscal administrator and then trying to pay ourselves as one of the service providers. So we really tried to separate those. We have maintained the third-party administrator role to provide this kind of service and supports to our courts.
We appreciate that the health department's still taking on that to help the courts out.
We're happy to support. They're tremendous
Judge
partners,
Prowl
so.
appreciates it too, so thank you. Okay, I'll take a motion to approve the order.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve an order for a class special procurement to contract with mental health, alcohol, and drug counselors, excuse me, for adults and adolescents to support court-mandated participants in the Marion County Circuit Court specialty programs.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Do you want to say anything? Because you already talked about WorkSafe. Do we want to say anything more about the next motion?
No, not unless anybody has any questions.
Okay, we'll just go right ahead.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve an order for a special procurement to contract WorkSafe Service, Inc. to provide urinalysis collection services for Marion County's 5 specialty courts.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's done. We are going to adjourn the contract review board and reconvene the Board of Commissioners meeting. Our work is done for the day. Where's the calendar here? Go ahead. Jane, yeah.
Nope.
Did I do that? Did I do something wrong?
No, you did it.
No, I made a comment to her, sorry.
Oh.
I'm sidebarring over here.
Oh, okay. All right. Today, we're at the board session. That was a good board session, by the way. One of the longest we've had in a while. We have a work session tomorrow at 9 o'clock on the 22nd. It's here in the Senator hearing room. Okay, that's what you were referring to, so in case people show up. Right, that's why we're doing that down here. Okay, tomorrow at 11 o'clock, Juvenile Department Barbecue for Appreciation Week for parole and probation. That's going to be fun. And at 11:30, the parole and probation, same thing for parole and probation, honoring them. Also on Thursday at 1 o'clock, the 22nd, Health and Human Services Policy Group here in the Commissioners Boardroom on the 5th floor. Again on Thursday the 22nd, 6:30 p.m., Wildfire After Action Town Hall, location Santiam High School in Mill City. On Friday the 23rd, 11 a.m., vaccination clinic closing ceremony, location at the Oregon State Fairgrounds at Cascade Hall. That'll be fun. Let's hope we don't have to reverse that. On Monday, the 26th at 11 a.m., tea with commissioners in the Commissioners Boardroom here on the 5th floor. Tuesday, the 27th at 9:30 a.m., management update, Commissioners Boardroom here on the 5th floor. Tuesday, the 27th at 4 p.m., Public Safety Coordinating Council, full council meeting here in the Commissioners Boardroom on the 5th floor. And Wednesday, the 28th, we're back here at 9 a.m. for a board session. And next Wednesday, we have our every other week FEMA briefing Wednesday at 4 o'clock. And that'll be virtual. What do you think?
I have no thoughts, which is
Okay.
probably surprising.
Jan, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
We had a visitor last week. John Latimer.
Oh, I was like, what? I must have missed that.
After action report,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you had your interview yesterday, right? We had our interviews yesterday. Those gentlemen seem to have some really good background in some of the stuff. Be interesting to see how they come up. What's the date today? 21st, right?
Yes.
I don't have much to say. I think.
I'm tired. It's been a long week.
I know it's only Wednesday.
It is only Wednesday, and I'm going to an event tonight for Connections 365. I think it's their 40th anniversary. It's an organization that supports youth in foster care.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to that. And then tomorrow, of course, we have the after action report for the community up the canyon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's busy.
All right. Well, I think we will adjourn then. If legal counsel doesn't want to say anything, then we must be done.
We're good.
All right. Welcome back, by the way.
Thank
Glad
you.
you had a good trip.
Thank you.
We will adjourn.